Good morning. It is Monday, Thursday, and we are in the kitchen. Ladies, or gentlemen if you have long hair. You can talk.
Okay.
You want to make sure your hair is always up and back when you cook, because you don't want your hair in the food. If you know you're going to be making something a little bit messy, you might want an apron.
And a punch and roll.
You want to punch and roll. Well, this is a good recipe for that. Today is Maunday, Thursday. Yeah, it's an old church word. And
Monday's Thursday.
it celebrates,
Monday's Thursday.
not Monday, Maunday.
Monday.
It celebrates Jesus's last meal with his disciples.
Monday.
We call it the Last Supper. But for Jesus and his disciples, it would have been a normal Passover meal. In your packet, I had the recipe for charoset. We did that earlier. This is going to be the recipe for matzo. Matzo crackers. All right, he says, let's do it. The recipe says 3 cups of flour. Oh, you were going to do it? You get to do the dumping part. I get to do the measuring part. All right, 3 cups of flour. 1. 2. Now, this recipe has some interesting notes on it. If you remember back to, hold on. Back to the first Passover, the Israelite people were told to make their bread in a hurry without, whoops, you're flat up. Now we need the next ingredients, okay? We're all done with that part. They were told to make it in a hurry without any leavening. Yeast, if you remember from the pretzel recipe, yeast is what we use to let it rise a little bit, but flour on itself will rise a little bit. It says half a teaspoon of salt. It says Celtic salt. You don't need to worry about that. Normal table salt works. We have pink salt, so I don't mix it up with the sugar. All right, we did that. It says 3 tablespoons of olive oil. There's number 1. Can you dump that?
1.
Hold it flat so I can pour. Whoops. There's 2. I'm looking for the measuring cup back here. Hold it over so I don't spill too much. Yeah. Will that work? I guess it'll work. 3, right? Yeah, 3 tablespoons of oil. 1 cup of water. Let's fill that up over here.
But I can't get mine myself.
All right, it says mix flour, salt, oil, add water, and start your timer. They will try and make it in under 18 minutes from start to complete finish. You want to keep stirring?
Yeah.
We don't need to worry about that. We're not worried about making it kosher. We just want to experience a little bit of what Jesus might have done
Punching time.
with his disciples. Almost punching time. You want to roll it all in there as much as you can. Okay, you ready to punch it?
Yeah.
That's called kneading. All right, this one though is going to be a little bit interesting. When we roll it, we're going to roll little ball-sized pieces of dough.
It's good enough to eat.
Oh, I am so glad it's good enough to eat, but we haven't cooked it yet. You usually wait to eat the dough.
Now let's punch that.
Punch and punch, knead it and knead it. All right, punch and punch. Knead briefly until the dough is smooth and elastic. Well, it's not so smooth yet, so keep punching.
Now roll. Punch again.
And we're gonna put a little bit of flour on the counter because that's where we are going to roll our surface. The extra flour just helps it not stick. You just ate, so you need to wash your hands before you do that again. And it says we want these to be really small. It says a walnut-sized ball. And we're gonna roll that out until it's super thin. The directions say paper thin. And then we're gonna poke it with a fork and cook it. The fork holes make it, they perforate it. They let the heat come up through without bubbling the whole cracker. And we're back making a mess. All right, so Maunday, Thursday, which means tonight, later tonight, would have been the night Jesus was arrested. This meal was the last thing he did with his disciples, and he did some unusual things. The Passover meal had tons of traditions in it. They had 4 questions that the youngest person was supposed to ask. They had certain foods in certain places. And Jesus changed a lot of that. When they cooked their bread, he said, "Take this, eat it in remembrance of me." And then they would break the bread. And that signified that Jesus' body was broken on the cross for us. When they got to the cup of wine, he said, "Drink this. This is my blood. Drink this in remembrance of me." Now, we don't believe that our wine today, it turns into Jesus' blood. It's a symbol of the sacrifice he made for us. So today, maybe you want to make the matzo crackers or the charoset. Maybe it's pronounced charoset. I'm not exactly sure. And get ready to remember some of Jesus's last moments with his disciples before he was arrested and crucified. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.